In the last episode, I showed you my custom GPT, or at least I talked about it. It's called Your AI Clone Starter Kit, which what you're seeing on the screen right now, and how I use it as an extension of my thinking. Today, I want to show you what that actually looks like in real life with a real client and a real outcome we'll be using all throughout 2026. This isn't a tutorial. This is a thinking system. I'm going to walk you through how I'm using AI to design a 52-week conversation structure for a long-term client of mine, someone I've worked with for over 10 years. And the important part here is AI is not replacing experience. AI is helping us extract reality, so wisdom has something real to respond to. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, so as you can see, this is my AI clone starter kit. You can start with this. You can click Start My DNA, upload my writing samples, or how do I export the files? You can click that, but I would suggest clicking on Start My DNA. As for me, it already understands my context and standards. So let me just click on Start My DNA right here, and let's see what it asks you to do. There it is. It says something like this: you're in the right place, blah, blah, blah. We'll build your AI identity DNA step by step. It'll give you, step 1, gather your materials. And when you're ready, do this. Step 2, one gentle question, answer this question. And then when you reply, we'll move to the next question. You don't have to supply all of these, but I would suggest to supply as much as you can. And then also choose maybe 2 to 3 of the emotional feeling that you have, at least for step number 2. And then when you answer this question, what it will do is maybe even ask more questions, evaluate your answers, and until you come up with this, which is what I've already done for my own clone. If you'll see my own clone, I already have 5 files. And according to Igor Pagani, who I'm learning or I'm watching as the head AI educator at the AI Advantage Bootcamp by Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi, not to have more than 10 files and not to have more than 10 pages per file so that you don't overwhelm ChatGPT. You don't overwhelm your DNA. So at least this is for me. As you will see here, I already have my personal DNA, which are the answers to the questions that are in the starter kit, the custom GPT. And I've also added in my DISC assessment, my values assessment. I left a voice note, and this is just a playbook. I'll probably remove this, but it's just an additional document that I decided to add in. Okay, so now that you've seen the clone, the custom GPT, your AI clone starter kit, as for me, I've already been using it. And if you notice from all of these, I've already started chats with it. And this is what it looks like. And for example, let me just put something here. Like if I were to post on LinkedIn with my learning using the AIA Bootcamp, write a draft in my voice using my personal DNA in, let's say, 200 words. So because it already knows me, if I'm doing it from a new chat that's not within my clone, if you see here on the left side, it says Alessa's clone, and that's where my personal DNA lies. If I do it from a new chat, it might not be as Alessa-ish as I would want it to be, because my 5 files here lies within this project file called, our project folder called Alessa's clone. New chat is outside this clone, and I've turned off my memories so that it doesn't combine with my clone, my personal DNA, because sometimes I ask questions that are not about me, and I don't want it to be combined with what I actually am as a clone, as what I've fed my clone. So let's see what it comes up with, and let's see if it sounds like me. Okay, so it knows my voice: reflective, grounded, documenting, not teaching. 200 words. Blah, blah, blah. Learning as a non-tech person. It needs orientation. Today's session reminded me that. So yeah, it does. Yeah, if you're here to IC, it does sound like me already. Maybe 85% to 90%. And all I have to do is just edit this according to how I feel at the moment. All right. So coming back, this is where it gets interesting. And this is just, showing you what my clone already knows about me and how I use the custom GPT that I created. It's free for everyone to use. I'll also be putting the link in the description of this video. So one of my long-term clients, his name is Borrett. Chris has been my client for over 10 years, and he's been a business coach for close to like 15 years. He brings decades of meditation practice, legal experience, because he was a lawyer still, and what he calls the inner life of business. Ask him about it, what the inner life of business really is. Yeah, and I'll also leave links to his LinkedIn profile and his website in the description. But yeah, what he brings on the table is massive, having those decades of experience and wisdom and everything. So the question we're solving together is actually simple, but not easy. With Chris, I want to talk to him about every single week in 2026, something that actually reflects what business owners are dealing with. He's helping business owners in Australia and some in the UK, but this might apply to other countries too. But with this question that with this prompt that I'll be showing you very shortly, it's not what we think the business owners are struggling with. So these are not recycled ideas, but what really happened. Okay. So for this demo, I will be using ChatGPT's deep research agent, and I'm going to use my clone, but later on I'll be sharing it with Chris. And then further down, we'll be using his clone, which I created for him or I set up for him. Same way as I've showed you earlier. And let's do a little bit of a usage of the deep research agent that ChatGPT has provided for everybody, for every subscriber, that is. And this will form part of the content structure that I would like to be sharing with Chris so that 2026 comes, we know what to discuss. And I'll show you. Give me a second here. So, going back to my prompt, I'll create a new chat here under my clone. And I'll say something like, do a research and on Reddit and other available forums online and extract 52 challenges being talked about and raised by business owners in Australia, particularly. Let's just put here something available. Also other countries like the UK. Okay, well, let's limit it for now. Questions they're asking, issues that they have with their business. If there are not 52 challenges, then find the most you can. Write 52 talk points for a Q&A with my client, Chris, business coach, Chris Borrett, based on what you find. This will form our interview sessions for 2025 so that we stay relevant. If there are not 52 challenges, then find the most you can. Then write 52 talk points for a Q&A with my client business coach, Chris Borrett, based on what you find. This will form part of our interview sessions for 2026. So Chris can address the challenges / talk points and provide insights according to his decades of experience, wisdom, meditation practice, and legal practice in Australia. Okay, and then we need to call, by clicking the plus sign here, ChatGPT's own agent called Deep Research. Okay, so this will take, maybe 15, 20 minutes. First, it'll ask questions from us to tailor the research well. Could you please clarify? So let's answer these questions. 1, are you targeting a specific size? Yes. So existing small business owners with M and up turnover. Should I include industry? Yes. Let's try in this order: tradies, accountants, dentists, lawyers. Number 3, would you like these Reddit to come from specific subreddits? Yes. So I'll just copy this one and other related subs. So subreddits. And number 4, do you want me to exclude? Yeah, for now. Okay. And then, just answer those questions. It'll give us an update and everything else. But this will take maybe 15, 20 minutes. Yeah, but it'll give you that already. And you'll see the progress here, right? So it's like, you can see here, it's multitasking. So you can try asking ChatGPT something else while you wait, which I don't want to do because I don't want to overwhelm us with information. As you know, I'm also learning on the fly and I don't know what this will give me. But after this, maybe I'll pause this recording, and then I'll show you what it comes back with. And if we get the 52 issues, great. If not, we work with what's real. This matters because relevant isn't guessed. And once AI gives us the landscape, then experience gives it meaning. This now becomes a shared thinking artifact. And each of these becomes one weekly conversation, whatever deep research provides us with. This is what we'll be recording together. I will be recording with Chris together. And then the magic happens. Chris and I will sit down and record a conversation based on what you see here on the right. It will be grounded in real business challenges, filtered through experience, wisdom, and inner work. And that's where depth comes from. These conversations that Chris and I will have will live on YouTube, LinkedIn, and other platforms so business owners can learn from what Chris shares. So this is not theory. This is reflection. This is pure experience, wisdom, insights, knowledge, all from Chris, backed by AI. Chris hasn't seen this yet. In the next episode, I'll probably share his reaction, what he agrees with, what he challenges, and how we refine this before we start recording weekly. So again, this is not just content creation. This is shared thinking in public. With that, I'll see you in the next one.